So, in combination for those words that and statements that I said before, uh, these words must be together. Those kind of criminals hiding an amazing bank of crimes, of everything. They want everything from their selves. They want the pie, and they want a receipt, and they want a change, and they want to continue eating by me, and me be under the cage of them and moving like a dog. But day by day, the system is fall down like a Babel tower. They want to reach and they want to go to the sky, but the sky is not the higher power that moving the evolution of life. That power is Satana satellite system and criminals from USA. And this kind of tower, as I told you before, Babel tower, is falling down. Crimes are huge. It's not possible to imagine what they did and doing. And it's complicated to explain you because I need months, maybe years. This kind of force is big. They build this kind of force because as big they build it, as strong they are. But as I told you before, is a big opportunity for good people to clean with me those comes from society and have all of us a better future. After I'm walking in the streets and doing anything I'm doing with friends or do nothing, those people always have reaction against me. Psychological violence, threats, dangerous substances, threats against my life, contract against my life, everything. If I'm speaking, they acting. If I'm not speaking, they acting again. If I'm walking, they acting. If I'm not walking and stay in my place, they acting again. They don't like anything. They don't like me at all, of nothing. They won't stay outside of society or in a corner. My house is a red cage. My water is unsafe. My food manipulate people using dirty hands if they can, my friends, places, moving people all over the world from my country, everywhere, informing me with criminals' language. One of the biggest criminals, gangsters of the world is this, is a message of snake. And more than 58, more than 63, more than too many gangsters. Europol saying in a post that in Europe now exist more than 5,000 of gangsters that participate in more or 4 or 5 people. In my life, I'm under the cage or the most powerful 58 criminal cycles and colors, numbers and shits. This kind of mess need time, because the structure of this kind of cage built for more than 10 years has to do with cycles from USA, Balkans, all over the world. More than 49 countries of criminals involving in this. Cartels, drug cartels are the most powerful cycle of them, and satellite Satana system. After that is Satanism and money laundering cycles and many more that moving money, assassins and many other things. If a person make a thought, why this man? Why at him? What is it so important that they don't want from him? It's complicated. The situation grow up from my place that I born. Petsa, that is meaning people with leather, is a mafia gangster group from my place that involving from the first time with this kind of international criminals. They found the opportunity to grow up this land, to make me an experiment and a slave, destroy my name, my reputation, my life, my job, everything. Any kind of cycle of them have different interests, and they fighting for my life like animals, eating flesh. My exhibition exceed more than 1,580 pages, and I'm gonna finish it in a few months. I'm doing this, of course, because the law must have knowledge and criminology. It's a multiplexing system. It's not easy. If someone observing this kind of situation, it's possible only to understand 10%. For understand the whole situation, someone must follow me for many months and see what is happening. But now I'm glad because I have the most of the elements, 99%, and I'm working the side of law and justice and authorities, and my intention is to do always this, not because it's only safety about me, but is a promise that if I can, I'm gonna find everyone of those that hurt my life. Doesn't matter if it is mixed people, criminals, assassins, dealers, blackmailers, drug dealers, hackers, or anything, women's, men's, everyone. The problem is that in this kind of cycles, a big percent of them, they are really crazy, sick. They have reactions that it's not possible to make a measure or calculate. I saw in streets before, and those days, amazing reactions. Some of them are setups, other are moving by criminals' hands, and many other things. My life is exposed 24 hours per day. Now in the city they manipulate more than 1,030,000 people in illegal databases of mobile organized criminals. They hiding terrorism, they hiding huge crimes, amazing loaded money. I make a calculation. Until now they have spent more than 48 millions of euro against my mental health. They manipulate people to destroy my gun here, my knowledge and my strength as a man, also my organs as a man. But they didn't succeed. Those days they have orders from Los Angeles and Hollywood. Stop. They must stop criminals, some actions, because the system is exposed by me. I never stopped the last 13 years to exposing film industry criminals also for group. It's complicated. Another woman with some message told me that a lot of photographers and people that work in social media, they took millions of dollars to destroy my name and my reputation. It's a word outside that is a fake of criminals to group, white 3 group, black and white, more than 58 criminals cycles with colors and numbers, as they had as a knowledge to recognize them by me. And I'm quite sure that many other people, they know them, but it's not possible to speak. Another thing is that they know the situation with the authorities, and they're trying to manipulate people and using hands everywhere. In my place that I born, corruption is in a high level of percent, and some people they fighting for a new system and justice. The same disease is for all the Europe. If you see the results of Europol report, you're gonna see that cartels all over the Europe, they have entrance in the societies. That is meaning also with this kind of way they manipulate people by making the new future that they like. But it's not only that, it's the criminals' land that they built through my eyes and my ears. It's one of the safest criminals' land that ever built with protocols. That's why I'm a slave and an experiment. They use me to making huge amount of profits and criminals' jobs. Unfortunately, those kind of protocols they share to criminals all over the world for secure their profits and their business. If for some reason I decided in the past to leave from this country and go in another, in a few months they gonna build the same business and the same structure from the beginning, and maybe with more setups and situations. They trying to make a new future by this kind of surgeries, with eyes and ears and protocols and nanotechnology stuff. It's a disease for our future. Those kind of lands are very secure, working in 5G. and shadow protocols with people that approach me every day in my place I'm living, friends, restaurants, cafe, trains, buses, streets, everywhere. If you see some videos that I posted, you see thousands of people moving like robots. It's the main instruction also from Greece, Portugal that I went, Italy, airports, everywhere. It's a force against me that they want to stay in the corner outside of society. But if you make a thought from one side, from one plane, for one side, they want to stay outside. The other side, they want to stay inside. Others, they want to die. Others, they want to suffering. Others, they want to play with my life. Any one of those of more than 58 different cycles, they want different things from me. We're talking about 19, 21, 20 different wallets of laundering money. Some of them, they communicate each other. Some others, they don't. They just took the main structure of the big bosses and they put me in the society, playing with my life and eating my flesh. Also, some of them, they fighting each other now because they are exposed, they are pissed off, they are mad, and they don't know what they do because many of them, they didn't succeed. And they didn't succeed not because it's only about authorities and investigation. It's also that I'm still in logic. I'm a good person. I work here in your country, in my place. I meet criminals, direct threats, assassins. Here also in Germany. More than 13 years I'm fighting. So they are upset. The most money are going to destroying my mental health. That's why the main structure of them is situation and complexity of situations, and that has to do with continuously of things. Imagine this, 10, 14 months talking in my environment, people, and talking 24 hours for my life, events, where I'm going, what I'm doing, threats, horrible things like psychological violence, destroying my reputation, my sexual dignity, horrible words, threats. Of course, I have a lot of evidence and stuff and places and faces and IDs and everything. They mix people, they mix everyone, they laundering money. Some people, they don't know what they're doing, even if they use the criminal's language, body and voice language. Another, they know. But I have a question, what they doing this? They doing because if they are not taking money, I think they are stupids. From them, I mean. If they taking money, they are twice stupids. Because I'm gonna take those money 1,000 times from each of them. The horrible thing is that they're using some people after some setups in the trains and buses and streets. After a setup against me and my mental health, I mean after violence, after threats, after psychological violence, rude gestures, words. If I'm gonna stay cool and calm and easy as they told me those kind of people stay, then they moving people with children's. That is meaning I passed the test. So when the setup is ending in the trains and buses and streets, in a few seconds appearing parents with children's. This is a structure of more than 10 years. I'm fighting for everything. No communication, no nothing. It's not possible to talk to anyone in the streets. And if someone approach me, it's by them. And I have proofs. If someone is not participate and is in my way, in a few seconds, days, they manipulate them or him, starting doing the criminal's language, movements, talking with stupid words, situations, acting like pretend some other person, and many things. But I'm glad, because in society now is the face of the criminals. By looking the society in an open view, like a lens, you're gonna see the face of criminals, and that's terrorism, drug cartels, laundering money, and amazing other huge crimes. For one more time, I'm gonna say thank you for people that working quietly and kind in this kind of mess, and they are a lot, also parents, schools, authorities, people almost everywhere, because day by day they realize the big danger of our future, and that's the red 2 criminals group, white 3 criminals group, black and white situations, and many other. It's a responsibility of any kind of constitution or people that they have this kind of power. I have another kind of power as a human being, as other people. That's why this future is going as far as we can, because everyone we try as we can. But it's an obligation of many people to protect the system and people. Institutions of many things must be always clean. And I saw horrible things in my country. And that's amazing, because people are suffering. People are losing souls, lives. It's complicated. It's an obligation for all of us to protect our society, ourselves, our rights. But I think rights are something that is something that is not important to talk, because rights are because other people died in a war, in a freedom of a place, of liberty, of freedom, Rights are something that are unique. It's the same thing that when a human being is born. Unfortunately, those kind of big criminals, the national criminals, as the sharks, they know everything. They know the system. First action is to make illness or disease in the system, and then they act step by step. Europe, I'm quite sure that is now under this kind of cage. It's a shadow world, an underground world that was searching and working and is in surface, unfortunately, because of me. It's not my fault. I just did my job. I just stay an original person and personality. I never did anything bad to anyone. There is no one in this world that can say that I'm a bad person. With me, maybe they are other persons. Other, I'm sure that they lost lives. They lost minds, families, friends, everything, suffering, dying from cancer, and all other kind of red criminals, business. This kind of mess need time, and I think we're gonna make it all. At the end of this discussion, I have to say this. I'm looking my face in the mirror and I'm saying that I'm proud because I'm myself and I'm not lying. I did my job and I'm doing my job, my new job, the last 10 years, and I'm proud. But sometimes it's not possible to live like this. And those camps, they know that. They playing with my courage and my strength in many ways. I'm living to see those faces in the cold jailbreaks. And as I told before, I'm gonna take off all of them the underwears and I'm gonna standing up to see this kind of Babel tower falling down. That's my promise. Thanks for listening and see this video. See you in the streets.